Inflation numbers rise to the highest they've been in 4 decades. Psaki keeps her eyes on Putin as we keep our eyes on the charts, while an explosive announcement rocks the XRP community. My name is Ben. This is your nightly crypto news wrap-up. Let's get it. The CPI numbers are here, and it set another record. This is what White House Press Secretary Psaki had to say.
So because of the actions we've taken to address the Putin price hike, we are in a better place than we were last month. But we expect March CPI headline inflation to be extraordinarily elevated due to Putin's price hike. And we expect a large difference between core and headline inflation, reflecting the global disruptions in energy and food markets. So core inflation doesn't include energy and food prices. Headline inflation does. And of course, we know that core inflation, energy, the impact of energy, of course, on oil prices, gas prices, we expect that to continue to reflect what we've seen the increases be over the course of this invasion. And just as an example, since President Putin's military buildup accelerated in January, average gas prices are up more than 80 cents. Most of the increase occurred in the month of March, and at times gas prices were more than $1 above pre-invasion level. So that roughly 25% increase in gas prices will drive tomorrow's inflation reading. And certainly it's not a surprise to us, but we certainly think it will be reflected.
She wasn't lying when she said the numbers would be extraordinarily elevated. CPI jumped 8.5% from a year ago, which marks the highest inflation rise since December 1981. In the past 2 months alone, overall goods prices have jumped up 2%. And Psaki and the White House are pointing the finger at Russia, calling this Putin's price hike. The U.S. ban of Russian oil imports has caused an 18.3% increase in gasoline prices in the span of 1 month. And energy prices as a whole are up 32% from last year. So yes, they're right that the Russian invasion of Ukraine holds a fair share of responsibility for the increased CPI, but to deflecting all the heat and to blame the entire inflation issue on Putin isn't exactly fair either. Central bank has spent the past 10 years devaluing the dollar. America was burning through money faster than Gerald Cotton, well before Putin's invasion. So how will this affect the crypto market? Good question. Let's go to Frankie Candles for a breakdown.
Thank you, Ben. All right, guys, let's jump in and do a little market watch here. We got Bitcoin barely holding on to 40K. We were just below 40K. We're back above it now, holding on for dear life, coming in at about $40,109, up about 1.5% on the day, still down 12% on the week. Ethereum coming in at $3,028, up about 1.5% for the day, still down 11% on the week. Now let's go ahead and check on some of the biggest losers. We got GMT down 7.3% for the day. We got MINA down about 6.6% for the day. We have Kyber Network down about 5.8% on the day, and Waves down almost 4% on the day. So guys, there is blood in the streets right now. Bitcoin barely holding on to 40K. We were just below it, and now we're back above. So that is a good sign. If you guys want to follow me, it's Frankie Candles on YouTube and Frankie_Candles on all socials. Back to the news.
All right, thank you, Frank. But I can't sign off without telling you what happened over at the SEC. Judge Sarah Netberg denied the SEC's motion for reconsideration of DPP, ruling that the 2018 DCF speech from Bill Hinman was agency guidance. This is after the SEC had stalled the trial and demanded that the Hinman speech wasn't agency guidance. Judge Netberg said, "Nuh-uh, you can't have it both ways, Gare Bear. You can't say that Hinman wasn't making SEC guidance and then change your mind when the trial isn't going your way." Judge Netberg went on to say the SEC has failed to demonstrate that the court overlooked any factual matters that were put before it in deciding the privilege's applicability to entry 9 of Appendix A. Its motion for reconsideration is denied. Kill shot. This is considered by many to be the nail in the coffin for the SEC, and even though it has 14 days to file an objection, legal minds agree that there is no there for the district judge to consider. After this news, it wasn't surprising to see XRP battle Solana for market cap, even as the rest of the markets bled out. The next 2 weeks will be telling, and the XRP army should be on high alert in case the SEC finally capitulates. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.